Did you see Elon Musk at his final White House meeting where he's parting ways with Trump and the government? He was high AF. A year ago, everyone loved Elon. Not everyone, but he was loved, I think, in the aggregate. People were with him, and oh my, how in, I guess, 5 months, 4 months, it's May 31st today, how it's gone against him. He had this massive public support for making the government more efficient. He didn't just tinker with, he came in with a sledgehammer into systems he didn't understand. And I'm a long ways away from what he's done. I can only see, the financial statements, what people have reported on from 40,000 feet up in the air, and you're trying to see something on the ground level. He thought that he could just make these sweeping cuts, that there were tons and tons of resources not being allocated in a way that made sense or in a way that was efficient or needlessly, completely just needless resource allocation. What we see, what I this is my belief, and again, I'm not near the federal government of the US, but I see lots of organizations, and a government is another organization, slightly different or differently arranged, differently constructed, differently managed than, say, like a big publicly traded corporation, but it's got similarities. It's full of people and they're doing things, they're directed by something, they have some goals that they're trying to achieve. If there is 100% slack in someone's employment, that is easily seen. People have managers, just the natural pyramiding of structure, of business structure. I don't know what the rule is, rule of thumb kind of, that you need, that after X amount of employees or X amount of people on a certain level, you need someone to manage them. They have questions that they cannot answer. That's what the manager is for. The manager is a remover of roadblocks, a supplier of logistics, to show goals, to maintain communication, all kinds of things. It's very difficult. There's just currently, with what we understand about how people work, maybe this can change in the future where you can have 100 people with one manager. Maybe you can if those jobs are very simple, very repetitive. But from what I've seen in business, there's a max. And it's not that many people before they need someone to help them be organized. Those managers see what's going on. If you're a manager of 10 people, you understand what those 10 people are doing. If you don't, over a period of time, you will no longer be a manager. And over a long enough period of time, if it's let to go on, the company that manager is working for will no longer be a company. Unless they get bailouts or some other such thing, But it sure seems like that's what happens in business. There's not a ton of complete monopolies where you can just be completely inefficient and people are sleeping on the job, that kind of thing. That is not to say you can't make things more efficient. It is to say that in an organization that is functional, and not completely derelict, if that's the right word, not completely dysfunctional, I guess. You can't come in with a sledgehammer to make it more functional. You have to give people tools to be more functional. You have to give people empowerment. There's there's ways that you can make goal alignment better. Basically, different management skills. Management skills where communication flows up and down. And it's been proven in software, you can make this happen. Like companies have become so much more productive without adding more resources. Again, I'm not under the hood of the US federal government, but I sure think that that's what's happening. It I would bet money on it that I would I, I would bet money. I would strongly believe that there are things in any organization that need to be untangled. Uh, Employees need to be empowered. You have to understand you have to have goal alignment in what you're doing. Like there are so many things. I think one thing that doesn't help is coming in with a sledgehammer and taking down the load bearing walls of your house. So, after, and you know what? I do have the proof that it didn't work because that's what Elon did and it didn't work. Elon starts out with all of this public goodwill. He implements a strategy into the federal government that's not effective, that isn't seen as effective, and doesn't have buy-in by people. People turn on him, the public turns on him very quickly when it's seen that this is a very disruptive strategy. And it's not the thing of efficiency that he thought it was. So Elon loses billions of dollars personally. His companies lose a lot of money. Tesla, I think, in particular. He's seen as a lightning rod that billionaires are awful. His personal life comes under great scrutiny. And I think what we saw at the press conference today was a humanitarian that had the best of intentions, which I'm not defending him. I just don't want him to be seen as evil because I don't think he is. I think he's a good human. I think that he would do that he wants the world to be in a better place and he wants to do good for the world. But his ideas over getting there are wrong. Some of them anyways. And the one with Doge, totally wrong. And he has paid a huge price. The public in 2025 seems to be very, very forgiving. Like the public in, the 2020, 2010s, 2020s seems to have a short memory. Maybe it always has. Maybe the public can be swooned with interest from someone that has a platform if they say the right things and if they I don't know. All I know is 2 years ago I don't think Donald Trump would have been reelected. He had a bit of martyrism. The left attacked him too much when he was done being president and made him a martyr. That was definitely part of the problem. And then he did all of these podcasts like things that are like grassroots level and identified with people. Maybe Kamala did that as well. For sure she did. But what I remember is Trump on these podcasts. I don't remember Kamala. COVID. I mean, 2020 and 2021 were not nice years to be a member of society, I guess. And it's like COVID never happened. Like the deep divide between people that were vaxxers and anti-vaxxers and completely forgotten, gone. And it's not like it's turn the other cheek or something. It's like it's completely gone from our collective minds. At least that's my feeling. That's what I feel wherever I go. And that's not a bad thing because COVID was dumb. I don't know. What did we learn? Nothing, I feel like nothing, literally nothing. I don't know if there were any good outcomes or any information that the public actually learned. Maybe some scientists learned some things. I don't think the public learned anything, myself included. Maybe that's on me, but fuck you. I shouldn't say that. Don't not fuck you, but come on, come on. Whatever. I feel bad for Elon. I also I can have sympathy for Elon for sure. I don't think that I need to feel guilty for having sympathy for a human that's going through some things right now. That's basically like hated by the world. I wonder. I really wonder. Like, was Elon not? Did he not have anyone around him to give him another point of view? Did he only have yes people around him? Was he too much of a bully or too? One thing that I hear with Elon is he'll give direct feedback as to how he's emotionally feeling when he has a problem. He'll do that sometimes. And boy, you do not get honest feedback from another person when you unload on them. I don't know. Did he surround himself with people that didn't have better intuition about what was going on? I mean, you could see from a mile away that this is exactly what was going to happen. I don't know. Maybe I'm saying that now because it's already happened and it's so obvious that it was going to happen. I think Elon's done some very negative things with this. I think he's definitely set back the legalization process of drugs, of non, I want to say non pharmaceutical drugs, of recreational pharmaceuticals. He's certainly set that back. I think, anyway, that's my feeling again. I don't know. I guess it's just another lesson, hopefully. Like, beware of people that have all the answers. I don't know what the lesson is. I don't. The lesson. The lesson is don't mess with something that you don't understand. He basically it's effective like someone having a Tesla vehicle that breaks down and they with no idea of how it works like pops the hood and starts ripping shit apart. It's not working. I better pull wires out. I don't know. Well, I guess the lesson is you need to have really good feedback with the people around you. You need to understand that public goodwill, it's easy to burn up. And for good purpose, for and rightly so. He messed with a lot of people. You should be more in tune with the people that you're trying to help. I don't know. The lesson. The lessons. That you can be wrong, that anybody can be wrong. Maybe the biggest one of all is whatever task you're trying to take on, even if you do understand it, which he obviously didn't, that it's more complex than you could understand, than you think it is. I mean, I don't think there's a single project ever that it's, you know, only as complex as what project can you ever think of unless you have a really good idea and you've done it before? But projects where you completely understand the scope and it works out exactly as you think it was, and it didn't have any little surprises. I don't know. I don't think there's any solid lessons because this is there are definitely solid lessons in there, but I don't think it's a moralistic, like it's not a story, like Aesop's fables where you can have a single sentence line takeaway and it completely makes sense and it fits. It fits for another scenario coming down the road. Again, I don't know. I guess paradoxical. This what he did was definitely an outlier. It's unique. It's never happened before. Not exactly like this. And it will never happen again exactly like this. But he really blew up his life. He really put it all on the line, skin in the game, didn't understand what he was betting, and he blew up his goddamn life. Oh my God. It's lucky he's got so much money because you need to have something when the world hates you. And I don't know. Maybe if you like took a, just a ton, a big percentage of his fortune and turned it into a bunch of non-profit charitable foundations or something, maybe people would forgive him. Maybe if he just got the fudge out of the limelight for a little while, people would forget about him and forgive him. It sure doesn't help that he has 14 kids. 14? How many autobiographies, like how many tell-all books are going to be written about Elon in the future? I would think minimum 14. 14 and counting. Maybe he's a great, wonderful dad, but uh I think he is wrong about a lot of things. I shouldn't pick on him for being a parent. That's not a nice thing to do. What I can say is he is going through it right now. Whew. Anyway, peace out.